Good evening and welcome to the 4th Annual Prism Awards for Photonics Innovation. We have 28 finalists and 9 winners that have transformed ideas into innovative products and hopefully revenue and success in the marketplace. So let's start the show. And to present the award in optics and optical component category is a person who in the early stages of career worked in engineering positions and Bausch & Lomb and Eastman Kodak. Since he left, just look what happened. Since then, he's held executive management positions at 3 VC-funded startup companies, Nanogram Solar, Radiance, and Bin Optics, and 3 publicly traded California optics companies, including Coherent, JDSU, and Optical Coating Laboratory. Today, he is the president of IDEK Optics Photonics, which currently consists of 3 business units that are enabled by high-performance thin-film optical coating technologies, AT Films, Semrock, and most recently, one of the biggest acquisitions in our market of last year, CVI Mellis Griot, which was a $400 million cash purchase and now a strong cornerstone of the IDEK Optics and Photonics platform. He earned a BS in physics, an MS in optical engineering, and a PhD in optics from the University of Rochester, and an MS in electrical engineering from Rochester Institute of Technology. Please welcome to the stage Mike Cumbo.
Thank you for that very nice introduction, Peter. You know, I couldn't help but smile upon listening to Robert Wong's introduction and self-story. Mine's very similar, except it wasn't my father. It was my grandfather, John Sendera. So, Tehran, all these years you've been wondering about the use of my middle initial, J. It's Grandpa John's fault. And he brought home prisms and defective lenses from that famous and now unfortunately bankrupt company, Eastman Kodak. I assure you it wasn't because he brought those things home to me that they went bankrupt. They were scrappers. The other piece of that personal vignette before we get into my prepared remarks, I'm a big believer in giving back educationally. I benefited tremendously from a particular teacher that I had in high school. As a junior, I took physics from a man named Dr. James Vienna. It was the last year he taught physics at the high school level, and he retired, and he actually was quite ill the last year he taught. There were 15 of us in that class. With the bright lights, I can't see folks, but for anybody here from Rochester, New York, as a native or a longtime resident? So this was Benjamin Franklin High School, so you folks know that that was not a particularly well-regarded high school. Nevertheless, to have a PhD in physics, teaching high school physics, was quite a gift and one that I've benefited from immensely. So, okay. So this conference, Photonics West, is quite a showcase for our industry, which provides enabling products and solutions to the most dynamic parts of the global economy, including, as we've heard, life science, industrial, information, communication, security, entertainment, etc. Those market segments are important to many, if not all of us, directly or indirectly. To varying degrees, all of us in attendance here are in turn enabled by innovation at the optical component level. As my teammates and I have been blessed with the opportunity to help design and build the IDEK Optics and Photonics platform of companies, which, as Peter noted, AT Films, CVI Mellis Griot, and Semrock, it's not a coincidence that IDEK's a fluidics company, a publicly traded company that has for years worked in big infrastructure kinds of products, you know, fire engine pumps, sanitation systems, drinking water, these kinds of big fluid-moving products. And then in the last decade or so has gone to the small side, microfluidics, so the plumbing parts of life science instruments that Laura talked about a few minutes ago, DNA sequencers, flow cytometers, particle counters, and the like. It's not a mistake that that same parent company turned toward photonics because at the intersection of fluid management and these instruments and photonics is where innovation lies. And so in architecting IDEK Optics and Photonics, we began with 3 very excellent optical component companies. We recognize as an enterprise that continued component level innovation is necessary is a necessary condition to the long-term success not only of our business but the industry. We're feeling the pull of multiple customers toward photonic subassemblies, engines, and even more highly integrated solutions. But we know that in order to innovate at that level, you really need the fundamental building blocks. So it's a real honor to be able to recognize the award winner in this year's category of optics and optical components. So let's look at the finalists. Mystery envelope. Let's give the 3 finalists a round of applause because it's tough to get there. All right, and the winner is Optotune with the Laser Speckle Reducer.
My team up on stage here. Wow, thrilled, surprised. I'll tell you why, but maybe let's introduce myself and the team. My name's Mark. I'm one of the co-founders of Optotune. We got here Manuel, another co-founder and our CEO. Then Jörg, sales manager. Jim, the designer of the Speckle Reducer. And Michael, our senior optics designer. Yeah, so I'm surprised because, you know, we're a young company. We're 4 years old. We're here the 2nd year at Photonics West. We were here last year the first time. And yeah, the product is barely on the market, and we already get recognized for this achievement, which is great. It's also a sign for us, you know, that we are on the right track. I think it's a good sign for laser projection as a market, as an industry. And I'm really happy that we can be here and provide an enabling technology to reduce laser speckle, which is still one of the roadblocks to get this onto the market. So yeah, I invite everybody in that field, you know, the DLP guys, LCOS, scanning mirror guys, the laser diode people to like join the party, and I hope together we can like get this out and make pico projectors reality. Yeah, and I'd like to say thank you, of course. First of all, to the designers of the Speckle Reducer, mainly Jim, who's done a really awesome job. Let's give him a hand. And thank you also to our partners, distributors. We have Edmund Optics and Key-Optic. Yay! They're here. For marketing our products and making them available to customers worldwide. And thanks, of course, to SPIE and Photonics Media and the jury for considering us for this award. And this is really great recognition. Very happy. Thank you a lot.